My mom said growing up that she always knew what was mine because it looked like a rat had made a nest. So kind of get the picture of what that looked like. It was kind of a hot mess. Hi, and welcome back to CC Convos. Today is just a pretty chill video. I'm just going to talk about how minimalism has changed my life. I'm going to start by just talking about how I got started with minimalism. So grab you a coffee, get comfy. Alright, so I started minimalism, or honestly, I didn't even know what it was called at the time. Probably close to 7 to 10 years ago. My family, we were redoing our house that I grew up in, and they've lived there for over 20 something years. So it needed to have a bunch of things remodeled. And so we were getting everything redone, and I was the kid that was kind of like the pack rat. I mean, I held on to paper that I probably shouldn't even have kept on to, little pieces to broken toys, and I like to just keep it all in like a box, and then I would take it out and kind of build something with it. My mom said growing up that she always knew what was mine because it looked like a rat had made a nest. So kind of get the picture of what that looked like. It was kind of a hot mess. So I had a lot of clutter. All my drawers just looked like total chaos. And so when we were remodeling the house, my parents were really focused on like, let's get rid of stuff. We've lived here for so long. We need to just clean things up and kind of start new. So I decided I was gonna jump on board. So I ended up getting rid of probably 60 to 70% of everything that I had owned. Cleaned out all those nasty drawers, got rid of tons of furniture, and bought my own furniture from one of our family friends that was moving, and just started over. And honestly, whenever I cleaned it all out, it was very stressful to begin with. Like, I had so much trash and so much stuff. Over time, I mean, it took a couple weeks, just a little bit each day. And once I got rid of all of it, honestly, I felt so much better. I had so much more space, so much more clarity. I felt like I could breathe. And honestly, once I had finished cleaning out everything, like, it just looked nice. I felt happy, like I had a jolt of energy. I was like, okay, like starting over. And I feel like a lot of times when we declutter, we almost get that like jolt of like, ooh, I feel good. You want to start over. It's a new life. You have a new fresh start. And that's kind of how I felt. So that's how I started, by simplifying and getting rid of a lot of things and starting my journey on being more intentional with the things that I had. Then the next step came that around maybe 5 years ago, I started hearing about minimalism. And so I like to watch the videos and see kind of what other people are doing. I was like, you know what? Like, that's really kind of the path that I was going, of being more intentional with what I had. But then it also transitioned into being more intentional with the things that I was buying. So now I wrote a list on my iPad, just some benefits and the ways that minimalism has changed my life. So the first benefit that I have is saving money. I started working when I was 11 for dog sitting my neighbors. And then I was 14 when I started babysitting for some people across my street, which then evolved to flying places and babysitting kids for a week. And so I started working when I was really young, but I was also living this lifestyle when I was in high school. So I was saving a lot of money. I mean, I had a couple $1,000s already saved in cash, stuffed in a jar when I was in high school, before I even had a bank. And I was that friend that we'd go shopping, and then they couldn't buy something, I'd buy it for them. So it definitely helped me save money because I wasn't just going out buying the newest iPhone or the newest name brand clothing or whatever was the newest rave. I was being intentional with what I wanted. So now, continuing on the topic of how minimalism has helped me save money, now that I've been moved out of my parents' house for over a year, my car is paid off, I'm able to save money and invest money, whether that's I-bonds or in the stock market, so that I can then progress to the next step. If I want to buy a house, if whatever I want to do, the next step. So the next thing on my list would be less stress. Now I don't have as much stress because I don't have as much things. I don't have as much to take care of. I keep my to-do list pretty small. I like to say no to a lot of things. If people ask me to do things, I always think about it a little bit longer. So I'm making sure I'm being intentional if I want to do it or not. So not only I think is minimalism just about possessions, but it's also about your time. Saying no to people and things that just stress you out and make you feel like you have so much work and you can't relax. Say no to those things. I have less clutter around me, so when I'm just sitting on my couch or in my bed and I just want to chill, I'm not worried about all of these clothes piling up and I have everything everywhere. I also feel like now, going to my third point, is that I'm happier because everything around me, everything that I buy, everything that I surround myself with is things that I've thought about for more than one day about and buy with a lot of purpose. So I'm happy with the things that I have. I love drinking out of my favorite coffee cup. I love the way that my sheets feel. I love all the decorations and the things that I buy because I don't have many things and I thought long and hard about the things that I do have. So I'm just happier with the decisions that I've made, the things that I've bought, the people I surround myself with. All right, so moving on to my fourth point, I would say that now I feel more content. I feel more content with my life. I can sit in the quiet. I just love that feeling of when you get up in the morning and I make my coffee and I sit and I just hear the quiet. I'm happy just being in the stillness and just going through the little mundane things of life, I think are just great. I'm not as stuck in, oh, I must have this. I must be watching something all the time. I'm just more content with having less, doing less, having less things going on around me. I'm also content with the things that I have, that I'm not impulse spending and just buying things because I'm stressed or I had a bad day at work or this new greatest thing just came out and everybody on TikTok is getting it. I don't have that desire to go and get it. And I feel like the more that you watch what you buy and you think about it for a couple days, the more that urge to buy things just goes lower and lower. So then you have a lot more self-control. My mom always makes the joke that she likes to go shopping with me because my mom is more of an impulse buyer. And so when she goes shopping, she's the one that wants to buy things because it's on sale. So she always wants me to go with her so I can talk her out of buying it. The fifth thing is a more recent thing, and it is that I'm starting to buy more quality things rather than the quantity. So there's kind of that fine line because I am a very frugal person, but I don't want cheap things. So the benefit of minimalism is that you can have higher quality things and still be frugal because you're just buying less of them. So if I want $80, $100 pair of sheets, but I only have one pair of sheets, that honestly is a lot better deal than just buying 3-4 packs of microfiber sheets that just get balls all over them when you wash and dry them. It would basically equal the one pair of sheets that you have that's quality high-grade cotton or bamboo that will last you years and years. All right, so my last point, number 6, would be that my relationships with people have improved. I think that once you start focusing less on consumerism and keeping up with other people and buying things to fill voids, you start to have that more vulnerability and you're able to connect with people. So for me, I noticed that I focus more on the experience side of things and less on something physical that I bought. So instead of buying a gift for a friend, I would rather spend time with them. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know down in the comments how you got started with your minimalist journey. What are some things that have changed your life since starting this lifestyle? If you like this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one.